Hello and welcome back to Phone a Friend News with the Ambassadors of Gaming. I'm one of your two hosts, Ambassador Chris.
And I'm Ambassador Michael. Hello.
And we have news about stuff.
We
Cool
do.
stuff. Stuff you've already heard about, maybe some stuff you haven't. Don't go.
Please stay. We need the views.
We need views.
Anyways, all right.
Or else Lone Shark Nook's gonna come and break my legs.
Oh my God,
He's he's gonna come out of Animal Crossing. He's gonna break my legs because I haven't finished paying off my debt in Wild World for the past like 4 years.
And then Rossetti's gonna come finish you off.
Yeah, Rossetti's gonna put a pickaxe in my neck. Um, okay.
God.
Well, now we're moving away from that. So we have
All
news
right,
about stuff. I'll let Mike
we
go
do.
ahead and start with some interesting stuff about PSVR.
Indeed. So for us here in the United States, there's a company
Okay.
over in Britain, UK, where they're just called Game, and they're pretty much GameStop for
Yeah, I
them.
was gonna say, isn't that the name of their like main game store out there?
Yeah, yeah, it's just called Game. But they have PSVR demos, but they are charging people to use them, and they're charging them £5 for 10 minutes or £15 for 30 minutes,
And what does this
and
roughly charge to in United States money?
like $6 for the 10 minutes and like 12 or not 12, it'd probably be about 18 for the 30 minutes.
So it's not exactly cheap.
No, but so here's the thing. I'll get in all the details. So they said if you buy it after you try it, they will refund you for the money. You're only out the money if you
Uh,
try it and then you're like, no, I don't want to buy this. So part of that's kind of pressuring you into buying it. Like, shit, like I kind of want my money back, and I'm gonna get this anyway. Like, if you're gonna get it anyways, and but you want to try it out first, then you're like, shit,
okay,
I
that
want
is
my money
BS.
back.
$6 to $12 is not gonna make or break a decision to buy a $500
Yeah,
piece of gaming hardware.
exactly. Well, 500 if
Okay.
you get the bundle, but
But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you don't want people like lining up out the door just to
yeah,
screw around on your VR headset.
exactly.
What is this, the Microsoft Store?
It's business friendly, but it's not consumer friendly.
Yeah.
Um, and so obviously people didn't like that, and obviously this turned into a story, throughout the week. And so journalists were trying to get a hold of Sony, and they talked to them, and they said, "Look, we can't really control what the retailer does. That's up to them. We can't tell them yes or no. I mean, they could be dicks and be like, well, this is giving us a bad PR image. We're gonna pull all of the PSVRs from your store. But then how are they gonna sell any? You know what I mean?
Right,
They're
right.
kind of caught in a bind where they're kind of like, this doesn't look good for us, so we're just gonna separate ourselves from them. So at least they fucking said something, because the last couple of different times bad shit happened, Sony just didn't say dick about it. Like No Man's Sky didn't say shit about it. What was the other one? There was
Or
like
No
a
Man's Sky. It's really not that good.
no, it's not. I like it, but it's still not like a AAA game.
No, it was. I mean, part of that I feel like it's our fault too for anticipating something really groundbreaking.
It's We should have expected beta Minecraft, but we expected World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So
All right, but we don't want
that's
to
what we
branch
get.
off. We have a bad habit of
We do.
branching off into some really far-fetched subjects. So, but anyway, this is. I mean, it's a little expensive, but
Yeah. I mean, if that's your only option, I guess. I don't know how retailers work in Britain because I've never been there, so I don't live there. I did talk to some of the British people and fanboys of gaming about it, and because they don't have many retailers and stuff like that like we do here. Like they don't have, I don't think they have Target and Best Buy and that kind of shit. So like they can't
yeah,
just go there. Like Best Buy does free ones here. Um, but so they weren't too happy about it, and they basically said, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna go to that store anymore." So like people are just kind of boycotting it with their money. Um, so do what you got to do, but I don't understand it. But that's it.
right.
I'm gonna
All
move on.
right. Yep. On some more interesting note. Oh, you're
You,
you're stopping me there. What's the
well,
finger for?
you want to move to the Microsoft stuff first, or you want to do
Oh
Nintendo?
yeah, you can do Microsoft. I'm sorry.
Okay. Um, so as we all know, Windows you can buy it on multiple platforms. HP, Dell, different companies make PCs.
Each
Um,
shittier than the last. Sorry.
Dell's pretty terrible. I'm sorry,
Except they
Dell.
do make Alienware.
Dell has stepped their game up recently, but their old shit was terrible. Anyways, Microsoft announced today during their Windows 10 event that they are partnering with HP, Dell, Lenovo, Asus, and Acer to bring VR headsets to Windows.
Now, this is not Xbox VR.
No, no, and it's not
Not that.
HoloLens.
No.
These
This
are
is
different completely.
this is yeah. HoloLens is that augmented reality thing that Microsoft's got in the works. This
Yeah,
is genuine Windows 10 VR gaming.
yeah. So now the most important part of this is they start at $300. Granted, they're
I didn't.
smaller than most VR headsets. They're about this big, so you probably will get less field of vision than Oculus 5 or PSVR. But for $300, it's not bad. And it also doesn't use cameras or like laser tracking. Like Vive uses lasers, and PSVR and Oculus I think use cameras. I know PSVR does. Um, but instead they have this weird sensor system. I'm gonna read the quote, which is inside out 6 degrees of freedom sensors. I don't know what the fuck any of that means, but it sounds like it just reads it from the headset itself. The headset maybe has like gyros on it or something, you know. So that's good though. $300 for a VR headset is cheap as fuck. The only one cheaper than that are the ones for your phones, and those are they're like intro VR, but they're kind of shitty. Still cool, but kind of shitty because you don't get the wrapping effect. Like
Yeah.
the Gear VR is just this. It's just I could just put my fucking phone up like this and be like, I'm in VR now. Cool. Like that's not how it works. You know what? Oh shit, I fell off my chair. Sorry. But yeah, so they wrap. They look cool. At least the designs they showed at the conference, they look pretty alright. They're coming like standard ass colors, white, gray, gold. So hopefully we'll see those soon. They got announced, but they're not releasing, as far as I know, anytime soon. And they're shooting for 2017. So, anyways, big news of the week.
Oh, is that my turn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's you.
Okay. So interesting stuff. I mean, we are a little late to the party on this, considering this came out shortly after we did our episode from last week. Uh, the NX has been revealed.
Oh boy.
The Nintendo Switch. Now, I wasn't crazy about the name first, but it's growing on me. Essentially, what this is it is a home console that essentially turns into a portable screen and you can take it with you. We saw some cool games in the trailer running on it, like Skyrim. We did see Skyrim. What?
Can I stop you for a second? I wrote this in
Yeah.
the notes. One of the project directors, I think it was somebody who works for Nintendo, and he's decently high up. They came out yesterday or today, and they said all the gameplay shown in the trailer was done in post production, meaning it was not running on the system. They edited those clips into the products, so everything we
I'm not
saw was
sure that
not.
they would have. I'm not sure they'd have the rights to show Skyrim unless they were given those rights to do so.
That's my thing. I think they will have Skyrim on Switch, but Bethesda hasn't said anything, and Bethesda's pretty like straightforward. You know what I mean? So if they're not saying anything, they probably have a plan for it. It's probably coming to the Switch, because otherwise they would have gone like, "What the fuck, Nintendo?" Like they called out Sony on the mods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I just want that to be known that everything they showed was post production shit. It wasn't actually running on the system. I think that's
Now,
important to know.
I'll go into some of the meat and potatoes of this. So from what we saw, the console itself is a cradle with a screen kind of stored in it. From the size of the screen itself looks a little bit bigger than a 3DS, maybe about 1.5 3DS XLs.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty big. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. XLs,
yeah.
about 40 to 50% larger than a
Sounds about
3DS
right.
XL. Now, the way they have this working is there's this little plastic piece, and it works as like a controller hub. You have these two little strips that slide into the hub, and then you hold the controller like that. When you want to take the controller to go, you slide the two pieces off of this controller hub, and you slide them onto the side of the screen, and you pull the screen up out of the cradle.
Mm-hmm.
And from what we see in the trailer video is that it's a seamless transformation. Like as soon as the game is lifted up, it is instantly removed from the TV and onto the
The screen. Yeah.
the gaming screen. Now, keep in mind this is not like the Wii U because I was skeptical at first, because the
Mhm.
Wii U's build quality was absolutely terrible. That controller, you could.
It's terrible.
I am a weakling, and I'm pretty confident that I could take that controller at both ends and just break the plastic. Like, the quality looks very well done. The screen itself
Yeah.
looks like an actual tablet.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't look like some sort of cheap little gamepad. Now, some interesting stuff about it. Okay, for one, it uses cartridges. I know, kind of a shocker.
They have their
Questions,
advantage.
yes, but questions come up. The whole reason that games were switched to disc in the first place was that discs hold an incredibly, just a absolutely huge, way larger data. They just hold so much more data.
They did.
They did?
Uh, you know, like you've seen online, you can buy a 1 terabyte micro SD now. Like
Yeah.
you can buy these huge cards. That's why Nintendo's going back to the cards, is because you can actually hold more data on a card now than you can on a disc. I think Blu-ray only goes up to like 100 or 200 gigs, I think, or something like that. But the cards can go up much higher than that.
Yeah, I guess
Granted,
you're right. I never thought about that.
I
Yes.
don't know if the Switch can handle anything running higher than that in terms of memory, but it also saves on memory. But I guess if you want digital, you're kind of fucked. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this calls out a lot of stuff because obviously, this kind of well, before I get into these questions, I'll keep going. Okay. So there are other things you can do. Okay. If you are familiar at all with your basic controller, on one side of the joystick, on one side of the controller, you got a joystick and your four input buttons like triangle, square, X, circle.
Hmm.
The ones for PlayStation, X, Y, B, A for both Nintendo and
Yeah.
Xbox. Um, so you've got those on one side with a joystick, and on the other side, you've got a joystick and what acts as directional buttons.
Yeah.
But it is possible to play two-player on the portable screen itself by removing the controllers, and basically each side of the controller turns into a joystick and input buttons. So what would be the directional buttons on one side of the controller kind of turn into input buttons. At least that's what we were observing from this
Mhm.
trailer that we can see. Any comment, Michael?
I think I mean, the design for the controllers is a little weird, but I get it. Like, it makes sense. It looks like it'll work fine, play fine. I mean, I think all consoles kind of look funky. So I'm more concerned about practicality.
Yeah, I mean the practicality of this, like let's say Super Smash Bros. Best example because we know that's a game that's going to make its way to the NX. Okay,
Oh yeah.
so you take it with you. I'm in college. I take it with me to school. I'm sitting there in the hub playing on my console, and my girlfriend comes up. She goes, "Hey, I got out of class early. Can I play with you?" I'm like, "Sure." I set the screen down. I pull out the two controllers. I pull out the two sides. I hand her one. It instantly turns into a two-player console.
True.
Like little things. Oh, it does have triggers and bumpers as well.
And it says Pro controller support. And the new Pro controller looks fucking awesome.
I do hope that if that is the Pro controller we see, I really hope it has Rumble. The Wii U's Pro controller did not have Rumble, and I know some people don't care about that, but I definitely care about
Yeah.
that.
Some don't. I don't personally, but I think the Wii U Pro controller is probably one of the best controllers. Like, it's one of my favorites, I think. it's just a good ass controller. It lasts a long ass time,
Yeah, because there's no
and
rumble. That's probably why
yeah,
there's no rumble. There's no real light on it.
yeah, and it's super fucking light. It's just awesome to hold, and it just
Uh,
lasts for fucking ever. So
Um, so aside from that, Nintendo also showed a picture of all the third-party support they've got for it, and there's a lot of it.
somebody made a good point while I was watching videos throughout the week. They also had that exact same amount of support for the Wii U when it launched. Like
True.
this, similar companies said they were going to, and then they just didn't. Like Activision, who was the other one? Ubisoft. I don't think Bethesda. I don't think Bethesda ever really made anything for the Wii U.
Yeah.
So
Um, I mean, it's just a new hope for Nintendo gamers, basically. I mean, it's something interesting. A lot of questions, though. What kind of power is this going to have? The Wii U's online was absolutely terrible.
yeah,
I could not play a game I got Smash on Wii U so that I could play online because the 3DS's um, internet is also absolutely terrible unless you're playing an
mm,
RPG. You're playing an actual, like, in real time game, it's awful. And so
yeah.
what do? I go into a match on the Wii U and I see my character levitating with a loading bar in the middle of it. So, also, like, is the power in the tablet or is the power in the cradle?
No, no, the power's in the tablet. All the cradle
That's
is for is to it's
linked to the
yeah,
TV.
it's an HDMI. It's basically all it is,
Uh, but that brings up a
and
lot
a
of
charge,
questions.
I
They
assume.
say that this is going to be similar in power to like a close to the current generation of consoles, Xbox One, PS4. Like, how is that going to work in a tablet? How is it going to work on
Um,
something that small?
have you seen that thing? It's fucking gigantic looking to me, at least. It looks about to be about this wide,
Oh, it's
about
smaller than
that
that.
tall. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like, honestly, it looks like about the size of the Wii U gamepad.
No, it is smaller than the Wii U's
Really?
gamepad.
Because
Yes,
it
it is.
looks fucking gigantic to me.
There are a bunch of people online who did a size analysis on it,
Oh, okay.
judging by holding the Wii U gamepad, the size of what you see in the picture.
Oh,
It
okay.
is
I haven't gone
it's
that in depth.
smaller. It's not. I mean, it's obviously bigger than a 3DS.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that proves a good, because that all has to fit into the screen.
Exactly.
So
This raises a lot of questions for me. I want a powerful Nintendo console. I'm not expecting it to be like a PS4 or an Xbox One. I'm really
no,
not. But just bring something to the table.
yeah. I
Um,
think it's gonna be a power. It's gonna be a really powerful mobile device, but it's gonna be a kind of weaker home system. So
Nintendo does not have the luxury anymore of just making their consoles these first party hubs.
yeah,
Like, no, you
they're not making money.
once the nostalgia wears off, like with all this nostalgia, I feel like that's what Nintendo's been going off of these past few years. They've been coming out with Famicom editions of everything. Right here on my desk, I have an NES 3DS XL.
Hmm.
They're coming out with all these old games, and nostalgia is great, but
Doesn't sell your systems.
once it wears out, then all of a sudden you're left with the system. When you want to actually get to some hardcore gaming,
Yeah,
you're left with something subpar.
yeah, exactly. I haven't touched my Wii U in months.
Yeah.
Like, I have good games for it. I just don't want to fucking play them because I fucking hate using the gamepad. And some games you can't not use the gamepad, like
Yeah,
Splatoon. You have to play it with the gamepad. And I'm like, that fucking sucks because Splatoon is a fucking awesome game.
yeah, it is.
So,
Splatoon's cool.
but hopefully this turns it around for them because they know mobile gaming like or handheld gaming better than anybody. They just shit down everyone's throat when it comes to handhelds. But like lately they've been waning on the home systems, so we'll see, how it all turns out. Plus we haven't gotten all the information. All we got was the reveal trailer. We've gotten a few snippets here and there.
Yeah.
There's also more speculation of patents and stuff coming out. I don't know if you saw any of those. There's no way this shit I if this shit is real, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like I'm gonna be like, Nintendo, you're super crazy.
Yeah.
Nintendo filed a patent for the Switch for it to have a projector in it. Why the fuck would it have a projector in it? I don't know.
No.
But you know how companies are. They file all these patents for ideas they have, not ideas that are going to fit into the final product.
Yeah.
So, I doubt any of that kind of shit's coming to it. I am interested to see if they got rid of motion controls. because they've held on to that for 2 generations now,
Yeah.
and they refuse to talk about whether the Switch has a touchpad or motion controls. It doesn't
A
look like it has a touchpad,
touchpad?
the screen being a touchpad, the Switch's screen being
Oh,
a
I assume
touchscreen.
it's a touch screen if that's what you're going
That
for.
yeah, that's what I mean.
I
They
was so confused for a second. Like,
that's what I meant. No, they because nobody ever touches it in the trailer.
yeah, but it's also going to be hard to carry that thing around without touching the screen for people like me who are really anal about not touching their screen unless it's a
Yeah.
touch screen.
Well, it didn't look like it had a stylus either. I never saw anybody pull
Yeah.
a stylus out or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
One more little tidbit about the Wii U, or
mhm.
about the and about this new NX or Nintendo Switch. In documents showing the art for the controller itself, they point out the 3.5 millimeter headset jack.
It's good to
They
know.
point they pointed out that it is there, and in parentheses underneath it says "Save the courage for Link." Now, if you do not get that
Oh, I
joke,
get the
if
joke
you don't
now.
get that
Okay.
joke, when Apple removed their headphone jack from their iPhone, they said it was courageous. They said like we had the courage to get rid of this piece of technology, and I just think that's a really funny.
You want to know what was the best?
10 out of 10 savage for Nintendo.
Have you seen somebody made mock-ups of the iPhone 8, 9, and 10? It was
No.
the iPhone 8. We took out the speakers because fuck you. The iPhone 9. We took out the charging port. Have fun, assholes. The iPhone 10. We took out the screen because fuck you.
Right? Like,
Like, I was dying. It was like iPhone 11. It was like a brick, like literally just a brick. I was like, you guys are ridiculous.
so, all right, I'll go
Anyways,
ahead and talk to you if you want to talk about Bethesda real quick before I
yeah,
move on to.
this actually pissed a lot of people off. So Bethesda is starting to follow a trend, along with a bunch of other stuff that came out this week about Ubisoft and EA with their reviews, like their review copies.
Yeah.
Bethesda is not sending out games before the release date of reviews anymore. For reviews, so all the publications and stuff like that have to wait until release day to get the game, which means they can't put a review up before the game. So you're gonna buy the game before you can put out a review. So people
Which, so they get more people play the game
exactly more
just in
people to
case
buy
they
the
won't
game
like it.
exactly. So people don't like that. And Bethesda's reasoning for it was Doom, and we're all like, that just kind of worked out good for you. You know what I mean? Like Doom was fucking awesome, and for some reason you made us sweat bullets not giving out review copies, and we all thought it was gonna be shit, and then it turned out to be one of the best games of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm like, great, Doom to get good, but like that's not justification for this. This doesn't
Yeah,
help
definitely.
anybody. It doesn't help us. It doesn't help the publications. If anything, now people are gonna be like, well, fuck it, I'm not gonna buy the game until the review comes out, and then they're gonna wait even longer for the game to come out.
Yep.
So and then there was this thing I read. No, it was a video I watched from Jim Sterling. Apparently, EA is doing this new thing where they're not blacklisting people. They're not saying you can't have codes, just generally, but they're like, we won't give you a code if we don't think you'll positively say something about our game. So basically, if you're gonna give us a bad review, we're not gonna give you a code, like, for it, and that's based off of like previous reviews, things like that. So, and for him, they have him classified as a wild card, so they won't refuse to give him a code for anything anymore.
I mean,
And I'm like, that's kind of shitty, but I get it. I mean, you want
yeah,
to
the
keep a
whole,
positive PR, but
but that's unrealistic. Like,
exactly.
people, one of the biggest reasons people watch particular channels for reviews and stuff,
Is they
like
have
say
similar
say
tastes.
IGN. Like IGN does not spoon feed you cake and watermelon.
Yeah.
Like they give you the real deal. They tell you the things that are they tell you some of the things that were really good. They tell you some
Mhm.
things that they thought weren't so good or stuff that can be worked on. Like
And
you're
sometimes they goof, like too much water.
yeah.
It's still one of the funniest gaming jokes. Anyways, go ahead.
um like and just having a game company say we're not giving you a review copy or we're not giving you a code to play this or that because we don't think you're going to say only positive things about it. Like that is
That's shitty.
yeah, that's not real world. That's not how it works.
Now, for example, uh, in this, Jim Sterling also bought Battlefield, and he gave it a really good review because he really liked it, and that's an EA game. And he's like, I mean, you could have given me the code, but I just bought the game. And he's like, from now on, I'm just gonna buy the game. Fuck it, you know, because to him, it's a bit, that's his business. That's how he lives. So that's what he's gonna have to do. Granted, he makes decent enough money doing what he does, and gets enough support that it's worthwhile for him. But like, it's just ridiculous. Like, I don't ask for review codes. We could, but we're not big enough for it to matter. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I could ask for them. I could email PR companies and things like that and be like, look, we do this, this, and this. And they could see that we do that. And maybe they decide not to due to our view count being, significantly lower than the people they want to get, out there. So, but I think it's just more authentic.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can tell you, I bought this game and I'm kind of pissed off I spent my money on it because it's not that good. Is it a good game? Yeah, it's all right. Is it worth the money I pay for it? No.
Nope.
Like, No Man's Sky. I like No Man's Sky. Is it worth $60? Fuck no, it
No.
isn't. No, it's not.
No.
It's really not. If it had been $40, I would have been like, I still think it's a little high, but I think it's a decent enough game to justify $40. And then, sales would bring it down to 35, 30, and so on and so forth. But like, The Order 1886, one of the worst reviewed games in like the last 2 years. That game got brought down in the last flash sale. It was $6 or $7, and it was a $60 game at launch. So, it's
Mm.
all based on your perception of value. So,
Yep. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on from that. Um, and then here's something interesting. Okay, so a while back we talked about a patent design for a PS4 Pro controller. Well, news for you, it's not happening. Instead,
it's dead.
yeah, it is most likely dead. Instead, Sony announced that they had some third-party Pro controllers with an S, controllers, because there's two of them.
There are.
Two separate companies are designing Pro controllers.
And somehow they both managed to be fucking ugly.
Yeah,
At least in my
neither
opinion.
of them are good looking.
The one from Razer looks like an Xbox One.
But they both do look very similar to the Xbox One controller.
Especially the Razer one, with the way the arcs are, it looks like a Xbox One controller, and it has the Xbox used to have that little it was the little switches you could put on the controller for the 360, yeah. And then you could still plug like a microphone into it. For some reason it has that. Like, it's like the exact same design of that. It's got the arches, it comes out like a rhombus. It looks exactly like that. And I'm like, I mean, you kind of just ripped off that design. But all right. I mean, they look all right. People that prefer Xbox One controllers are going to buy them because that's what they do. As far as I understand, they're wired, which is not cool.
Nope.
And they're
cool.
not.
It's a cool option to have, but
it's like why? Why is it wired? Like, maybe they just didn't want to put a battery pack in it. I don't know. Like, and the cables,
maybe they're just giving you a middle finger.
Yeah, the cables are 3 meters long, which I guess is, I don't know, because I live in America and we're stupid. We don't know standard or metric. We only know standard. So 3 meters is decently long, but still, it's the point. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's fucking annoying. I don't want to have any more wires. Have you seen the wires for PSVR? It's fucking stupid.
Yes, I have.
I don't need any more.
I consider my wires organized, and yet the 3 consoles and TV I have still create a mess behind my entertainment center.
It's fucking ridiculous.
All right, now we are going to move on to Flash News. Meow.
Yeah.
I actually have a Jay Garrick pop figure right here. He's Zoom though, so he's bad.
I'm going to start off with the sad news and then get you with the good news. Sad news first. Turtle Rock Studios, the guys that make Evolve, they announced, we talked about it earlier, they announced a free-to-play model, and then they were going to bring that from PC to console. They decided to not do that. They have decided that they are not going to do anything with Evolve anymore. They're just done with Evolve. They're just
Which is sad.
not supporting it anymore, which is sad because Evolve is a really fucking cool game, but it just doesn't work right in the way it's intended to in terms of multiplayer. It's not Call of Duty. It's not Battlefield. You can't just jump on with a bunch of random people and go play it.
Yeah.
It's very much like the raids in Destiny. You have to have an organized
You have to have a
group.
team. You have to know what
Yeah,
you're doing, and you have to depend on things working right. Have you ever tried to do a raid when the Destiny servers are messed up? It's a madhouse. It
exactly.
is an absolute madhouse.
Or you're doing it with a bunch of randoms, and you can't collectively come to this. When the raids first come out and there's not one strategy to go with, it's just a pain in the ass. And that's how Evolve is. It's really good, but it just wasn't designed well. So I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. But maybe if they had just done a campaign, you know what I mean, with multiplayer aspects,
Yeah.
it would have been all right. But so I'm gonna move on to the good news now. Two good pieces of good news. First one, actually, I'm gonna swap these real quick. Red Dead Redemption 2 got announced after the little teasers Rockstar gave us. It's coming
I
out.
had no idea.
It's coming out in fall 2017. So I did hear a good joke the other day because when they that announced, they're like, and all the publishers went, "Fuck these 2 months, we're not releasing shit." So
Everyone will be distracted with Red Dead.
everyone will fear Red Dead. Um, and so they didn't really put anything out other than the in-game engine footage, which looks okay. Rockstar's like kind of like Bethesda, where their graphics aren't always super fucking good. You know what I mean? But their games are fun to play, and they
Yeah.
have good storylines usually. So we usually let them slide for that. Bethesda on Fallout 4 did not get a pass, especially because Witcher came out in the same year and just shit all over Fallout in terms of graphics. So, um,
Yeah.
I'm excited. A lot of people are excited. It looks good. Funny story, their shares went up like $3. I think we talked about that last week. Yeah, their shares went up like $3 a share after
Hmm.
they leaked all that or like teased it. So, congrats to them. It was kind of weird because it got announced an hour after the Switch.
Did it really?
Yeah, the Switch video came out, and then afterwards, well, that morning was fucking crazy. Let me tell you. I got to work, and they're like, the trailer for Logan is out, and I'm like, okay, I'm down with this. I need to see this. Logan is the third Wolverine movie, if you care. I really like Wolverine. I really like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. So I was like, I'm gonna watch this. I was like, this looks pretty awesome. I'm excited. And then after that, the Switch came out, and I was like, oh my lord, this is a good day. And then after that, Red Dead Redemption 2 came, and I was like, I don't know if I can handle this anymore. This is too much great things in one day. This is a
Well,
really
that's
good.
pretty good.
The best thing about it is I saw most people know Shinobi on
Mm.
Twitter, and he just tweeted out, "Not bad, Random Thursday, not bad." So, but to end here, we have some exciting news from Phil Spencer. He tweeted out today that he was doing a day-long review of the team working on Scorpio, and he says that they're making amazing progress and they're feeling good about schedule, about making it to fall 2017. So that's cool.
We'll see.
I still want to know what the fuck it is. They better
Yeah.
not make it like fucked up like the 4. I think they're gonna look at the PS4 Pro and go, "That's not how we do it. That is the exact opposite of the way we do this." Because PS4 Pro announcement, boring as shit.
PS4 Bro.
PS4 Pro. If they would have called it the PS4
Bro.
Bro and been like, oh, they got the dude from Broforce and be like, bro, you need to buy this shit. I would
No
have been like,
regrets.
I'm down.
Rest in peace, bro.
I love that game.
That
It's
game is
fucking
so
hilarious.
fun.
So, but that is
We need to play that again
all the
sometime soon.
big
We need to get
news this
Justin
week.
online to play that.
That game is pretty fun.
That game is so fun. It's so bad it's good.
It really is. Like it's so fucking stupid, but it's so great.
Ukraine, more like our crane. Claim it in the name of freedom.
The game's awesome. I think those guys made another game recently, or they're putting out a new game coming out soon. So, if you like Broforce, look into them.
Bro Force.
Also, Titanfall 2 comes out this week. Probably talk about Titanfall 2 on next week's
Yep.
thing. So,
We're gonna play it.
It's getting
We
good
gotta play it
reviews.
first.
Oh yeah. Well, it's getting good reviews too, so we'll see.
But anyway, that's gonna be it for us. Try and check us out at least once a week. Try and do this at least that many times. Usually happens midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, one of those days. All of our Patreon and donation information is in the description.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Ambassador Chris.
I'm Ambassador Michael.
I'll see you next time, okay?
Goodbye.
Bye.